Good morning, Facebook family. I thought I would jump on here. I have been thinking about a lot of things because last night I attended a great little get together by Women in Ink. Well, it wasn't very little, but it was a fun event where it was called Women and Well-Being. And there was a panel of experts, of people that were sharing with us their journey of what it means to have, or what it means to be into this well-being thing today. So I wanted to jump on and share my thoughts about it and talk a little bit more about some of the things we touched upon last night, which were comfort zones. And so I wanted to talk about the good and the bad of a comfort zone because people kind of, push each other to step out of their comfort zone. But I want to talk about the good and the bad things of why it's good to stay in it or why it's bad to stay in it. It just depends on who you are. And so what I appreciated from the panel last night was that they shared their individual stories and everybody was different. Everybody shared, what helped them, and they had some great takeaways that I wanted to share with you. I did post on some takeaways on my other page, but some of the things that I wanted to talk about with comfort zones is number one, the good. Comfort zones are good because you get things done. You get things done comfortably. You get things done on your own pace, and good things still happen here. So I want you to not think that if you're living in your comfort zone, that it's a bad thing. But if you want to step it up, I want to talk about why, it might be a bad thing to stay in your comfort zone. But, when we talk about getting things done, comfortably, I want people to think about the comfort zone as if you're stepping out of it, or if you're thinking about, yeah, but I'm super happy here, that it's not so much about not achieving something or being complacent, because I don't want people to think that it's bad to stay in your comfort zone if that's where you need to be at this moment. But I want you to shift your thinking and to think more about, if you were to step out of that comfort zone, what would it benefit, or who would it benefit solely because you added what only you can add to the mix and to hopefully get somebody else out there. And so I want you to think about other people, basically, and why you would step out of your comfort zone. And how do you get there? How do you get out of that comfort zone? Number one, I always keep saying this, and, a couple of my girlfriends, we talked about it as we hugged goodbye because we carpooled together. We carpooled together to this event. And number one, what I always say is show up. You don't have to know why you're showing up. You don't have to feel like showing up if you don't want to. Get a bunch of girlfriends together, like I did, and we carpooled. And, a couple of great things came out of that. Number one is, some girlfriends met other girlfriends that they didn't know, so they made a connection. Then the other thing that was amazing was I had my friend Annie in the car, and she just stimulates conversation. And so all the way home, back from the event, we talked about what we learned, and we talked not only about who was your favorite speaker, but her question was very thought-provoking. And she asked, of the people on the panel, who would you reach out to and why? And so we all took turns and we all talked about it and we all got around and we made it home, and it was great conversation because you continue to learn from people. And so, I always say, keep showing up, but, with no agenda. I attended an elite retreat with one of my friends who, hi, Patty. And my husband's watching too, or I don't know if he popped on and popped out. But, I attended this elite retreat with my friend Holly Dowling. And if you know her, I absolutely love her. She's such an inspiration and a great mentor to me. And it was funny because she gathered, I think we were the first of her elite retreat, and she still is continuing to do it. So if you're interested in it, I will connect you to her. But she gathered about 6 or 7 women, and we did not know each other. And she knew this was going to drive me crazy, but we had no agenda. Like, seriously, no agenda. I asked once, and then I wasn't going to be that person who kept, hammering her for an agenda, but she did it on purpose because you show up. She taught me to show up, have no agenda, and just be present. Just have time for me to listen, to learn from people. And that's my next point. The first point was show up, no agenda, show up with your girlfriends. Number 2, be open to learning. I always say that again, be open. You're just showing up. A lot of people asked me last night on the way, what's this all about? What are we going to learn? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. And I said, I kind of knew, but there was a panel, and honestly, I love the best things are showing up and you have no idea what you're going to learn. And then you walk away with amazing tidbits. And so the second thing is just learn and show up. Third thing, how to get out of your comfort zone is to start listening to people. Listening to people as you're learning from them, listening to people, what they're telling you that either you're good at or that you should try, or listening to people on the same journey that you're on. I am trying to get better at videos, and I have been tuning into my friend Lisa Copeland, and she's been teaching everybody that tunes into her show since she's gotten back from a conference about just YouTube. And so I take away little tidbits. I have another friend, Michelle McLean, who is going to, she and I are going to hammer this out. I think she's kind of ahead of the game, which is great. I'm not competitive in that way, but more like, great, you can show me exactly what I need to do, and then I'll make it work for myself. And so listen to people learning. This morning on Lisa's show, I took so many notes. I was learning so much at the same time. And then the last thing is, I say this all the time, have somebody to keep you accountable. Whether it's checking in on you or whether it's pushing you to continue to do what you're supposed to do. With Michelle, she and I made a phone call, and we're going to catch up and figure out how this video thing works. And it's one of those things where I need to be prepared before I get on the phone with her. It's just make that appointment, make that date, make that phone call. Even if it's somebody that you don't know well, it can still be an accountability partner. And so that's my next tip for you. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was just something that I heard last night. Well, 2 things actually, but that I heard last night with the panel. And Jackie Carr said, have or partner with somebody who scares you. And I mean, I think the whole room stopped short, because it's true. There are people out there that are doing so many things, and it can be scary to reach out and to say, okay, there's no way I'm going to be able to hang with them, or there's no way that I'm kind of scared. I don't really want to ask them a question. Just reach out to them. You never know. If you've gone through something and you want to share it, this is a great opportunity for you to pass it on to people, and likewise. And what I found out with people that I've reached out to is that they are willing to share. And so partner with people that do scare you. I know that's a scary thing to think about. And then again, this is actually the last thing, is Mary Beth LaRue was also on the panel, and these two, Jackie Carr and Mary Beth LaRue, are partners, and they run a company called Rock Your Bliss. And what Mary Beth LaRue said that kind of stuck with me as well is that she loves her comfort zone. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. There's nothing wrong with being happy in your comfort zone. But the second half of her comment was she doesn't allow herself to live there. Again, boom, I stopped. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. And so I want to push you guys today. Identify your comfort zone. Identify what you want to reach out for today. If you can, don't allow yourself to live in your comfort zone. And I'm going to get very real with you right now and very transparent, because stepping out of my comfort zone, you want to know what that is? It's these videos. These videos make me step out of my comfort zone, but I'm trying, and I'm going to keep doing them because I have to think about my why. And my why, and the reason why I do this, is not because I want to be famous. It's not because, I think I'm better than that. But the reason why is because if something that I say, something that I get out there reaches at least one person, I'm happy that I've done my job, So I want you to think about comfort zones today. I want you to think about, that they're good and they're bad, the good things and the bad things about being in a comfort zone and stepping out. And I want to challenge you guys to get out there and just do it. Get out there. Think of one thing. The third person on the panel was Rachel Pastor, and she runs Fort Collins Fitness Festival. And she had said, the one thing that you can do every day is to make a power promise. One promise every day that you can keep. And it can be something very simple. Her power promise was to drink a gallon of water a day. And she feels that success by the end of the day. So make a power promise. Get out there, start thinking about what you can do in or out of your comfort zone, whatever you want to do to push yourself. Find somebody that will keep you accountable. And I will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.